there's one stock that is about to go up, in my opinion. They did come out with a breakthrough scientific result on Huntington's disease. I'm not going to say they found the cure for Huntington's disease because I'm not a doctor and I don't think they would say that. Nonetheless, this stock is up a ton already, and biotech stocks are a particular type of stock where just because it's up a ton, it doesn't mean it can't go up a lot more because their moves are so based around huge trial results. The drug either works or it flops. And it looks like this company has something that works. I'll show you how to be careful if you choose to get into this stock because the trial results can also kill a biotech stock, but the ticker is QURE. That is the Huntington's disease stock that made all these other stocks that are similar start to get some buying. And let's jump into what the stock looks like fundamentally, as well as what it looks like on the chart. And if you like these ideas, hit that like button.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 So here is some info about this breakthrough, okay? Its experimental gene therapy achieved strong efficacy in a pivotal phase 1 or 2 trial for Huntington's disease. That's a mouthful, but a lot of people think this is very helpful in potentially curing Huntington's disease. Their high-dose arm showed 75% slowing of disease progression at 36 months. That seems pretty important. 75% slowing. I'm not going to parse this like I'm on the team that interpreted these results, but I'm just here to say the stock went up a lot in response to this trial data. So biotech experts were very excited by this result, and now we just have to see if the stock can stay up there. There is some dilution risk, but there's always risk with biotech stocks because a new trial result can come out and you can have a move down like what happened with HIMSS here overnight. Now, here is the chart. We're up more than double, okay? And one way to play a move like this is to say, hey, a lot of volume traded on this day. A lot of people bought the stock. That's what's happening. And you can see that over here on this blue blob. There's a lot of people who bought in here and here. This blue blob doesn't actually take into account at what point during the day they bought. Obviously, I understand that now that I see that this is the same width through this entire day. But it does take into account what we can visually see on this chart down here, which is a bunch of people bought on this day. So you can use this as a risk level. And a lot of people who bought here or here, who were investors and have a trading mindset, probably did that and said, hey, if it gets below this level, I'm going to sell because I know that a lot of other people are also going to sell and the stock seems to be going down. You don't have to wait for it to go down to here or even lower to sell out. This is a good stop level right here because there's so many people who are making money as long as it's above this level. Once it starts to get down here, a bunch of these people are no longer making money. And I know what it feels like. You know what it feels like when you're not making money on a stock, you sell it. And that is a cascading effect. And you can have moves like open door on this day, people just start to sell, and suddenly this is a 20-30% drop in just a couple days. Whatever that actually was. My tool is a little bit covered by up here, but we can pretty clearly see that there could easily be a drop of 20% or more. Now, I'm not here to scare you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have picked this stock. I think this has upwards potential. And there is a similar stock, CLPT, that had a similar move. This is the 24th. This is the 24th. And I think this could move up just like CLPT moved. I don't know when it's going to move up, but I do know that when you have these extremely compressed or tight, whatever word you want to use, sometimes I say compressed because tight is whatever. I guess tight is not super applicable to words you should say. It doesn't matter. It's compressed days, and I'll say whatever you want here. Let me know in the comments what to say. You don't have to risk much money is what I'm trying to say. And you can make a lot because if you buy on this day, right, you didn't know this was going to go up, whatever it is, 10%. But if you risked just $1 or a few dollars, really, because if we're being honest, if we look at this day, this is on September 29th. If we're being honest here, I think this is the high of 62. So that was pretty much here. So yeah, here we go. This day. If you bought on this day, it actually did go down a little bit to start. Sorry, this is looks like some sort of video game here. We got to zoom out a little bit. There we go. That's perfect. The gray is the after hours, so that's 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. And then the white is 9:30 a.m. to the after hours is it's confusing even to me. And I've looked at this chart a lot. This is actually my chart, obviously. This is my software setup. If you want this software setup, you can just ask me. InStocksCommunity.com would be the best place to ask me. I have been checking YouTube comments in order to raise my voice, for example, and make adjustments I can to make these videos better for you guys. But if you are in Stocks Community, you can ask me and I can give you this setup. So how it works is I just share the setup. So I just share my workspace like this. And then, that's my workspace today as of October 3rd. But I don't change it. I haven't changed it in months, if not longer. So I would just call it, Sam's. And I'll just share it with you. And I'll just pop that in the community. But back to what's going on here. This is 4 p.m. This is 9:30 a.m. And the markets don't open in most cases, between 8 p.m. and 4 a.m. There is some stocks, QURE may or may not be, depending on the exchange trading during that time. Almost every person, including me, doesn't have to worry about what happens overnight. Almost all the time. I'm talking about this so much because let's take a look at HIMS, okay? And let's take a look at this day. So this day is June 23rd. So if we go to June 23rd on this software, I'll go to June 24th so we can look a day back. And we'll look on a 5-minute chart here. Wow, right? That is scary, having to sell out here. And if we look to a chart that includes the after hours and the pre-market, you can see that if you are seeing on your phone or on your broker on your computer, or I guess those are the only two places. It would be on your phone. I don't think many brokers send notifications to your email, but what you see is that I'll put this on a 1 minute now to really zoom in. Don't worry, this is not a day trading training, but this is an example of there are special situations where, we actually can't do 1 minute because it's a few months behind. So this software doesn't have the data. I believe that's what's going on. So I'm just going to open this up to reload that for a second. All I did was clicked on this button twice. There are situations where, as this loads, if you're at your phone or your computer, you can sell out of a position before 9:30 a.m. and save yourself some money. I'm not saying that's what you want to be doing or that you need to be that vigilant and aware. In almost all situations, you don't. But I am saying, let's see if we can get this to load. What the heck is going on here? Sometimes this does happen. If you see the stock going down and you're at your computer or at your phone, you can sell out. And HIMS went from $60 to $45, which is absolutely terrifying if you have a huge position, like say 30% of your portfolio. I never would recommend putting that much in a stock. I don't think that's a good idea. I do know that some extremely aggressive and extremely good investors do that. So it's not super insane for me to talk about someone having a 30% position in one stock, because I know that some of the people who do that are really good. Now, I'm not saying they're watching this video. I'm just saying there are some lessons you can take from people like that. And this is the lesson, which is that if you are at your computer, and this is at 7:45 a.m. Eastern, you get out here, you only lose $10 a share instead of $20 a share. Okay? And that's a big deal. If you have a 500K account and you put 30% of your position in here, let's just say it's 200K. Let's say you're really aggressive. It's 40%, I guess. And if you have a $200,000 position in this and you go down, whatever it is, 10%, you lost 20K. Whereas if you go down 20%, you lost 40,000. So that's why people start to pay attention to their phone at 7 a.m. Again, this happened at 7:30 a.m. And I'm not saying you have to look at your phone all the time or your broker all the time. I'm just saying if you check, you wake up at 7 a.m., maybe you check at 8 a.m., an hour later, you're cooking breakfast, or you're on the way to work, or you're at work, or you're busy with whatever you're up to, you still saved yourself an extra 10 grand. So this is a long lesson that is about HIMS more than QURE, but QURE is definitely a great opportunity, and it's also a biotech. So this lesson is very, very applicable. So with all that said, here are the levels. 53.50 is a pretty important level today, yesterday, the day before, and then Monday, and going back to last week. So you risk $1 or $2, make 10 to get above this high, make 20 with another half your position or a third of your position if you still have a third left. That's the idea. And this is the sympathy ticker that went some more. That sort of represents what could happen for QURE. There is some dilution risk, which means they could sell shares into the market, which will push the stock down. So those are the risks. Sometimes I'm more vocal about the risks than the positives, and that's by design. But here's the deal, okay? You can see trial dates. This is the most important upcoming date. Is you don't want to hold this into November 4th. Okay, it's October 3rd right now. If you do hold it, you don't want to hold the whole position into earnings, because who knows what can happen on earnings. But this is the other company to take a look at. CLPT is that company. And we looked at that chart. So I'm not a biotech expert, but CLPT is the company that is moving with QURE. And those are the levels for QURE. If you like these ideas, if you like this example of how to be careful with stocks, let me know in the comments what you like or what can use improvement. And if you want to ask questions about your stocks or about what stocks to look at more closely, head over to stockscommunity.com. You can try it out for $25 for 7 days. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that button. And if you like the video, like that video, and I will see you in the next one.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 This is Sam Putnam.